From deadly haircuts to banned colors, you won't believe what could get you killed. Think today's laws are strict? Try living in Imperial China, where the wrong outfit, hairstyle, or even door color could land you in prison, or worse. Because for over 2,000 years, Chinese emperors didn't just make laws. They made statements. Big, bold, sometimes flat-out ridiculous ones. From Tang to Qing, the imperial rulebook was less legal system and more death by vibe check. Laws weren't just about order, they were about showing who's boss. And that boss was usually paranoid, power drunk, and obsessed with symbolism. Step out of line, even accidentally, and you'd feel the full weight of imperial overreaction. Let's dive into the top 8 craziest laws in Imperial China. And spoiler, number 6 is pure fashion revenge. Number 1, the haircut that could get you killed. Let's start with a look that could literally cost your head, the Q haircut. In 1644, when the Manchus conquered China and founded the Qing dynasty, they had a brilliant PR idea. Let's force every Han Chinese male to shave the front of their heads and wear a long braid down the back, just like us. This wasn't a gentle suggestion. It was law. Keep your hair and lose your head, or cut your hair and keep your head. Refusing to comply was seen as treason. Tens of thousands were executed for resisting. Whole villages were wiped out just for delaying the haircut decree. Some men shaved their heads in secret at night, afraid their neighbors might report them. Why? Because hair wasn't just hair. It was identity, heritage. Cutting it off was a direct slap to your ancestors. Imagine someone invading your country and then saying, "Also, everyone's getting a mullet." Number 2, purple robes were for winners only. You know that feeling when someone shows up to a party wearing the same outfit as you? Well, in Tang Dynasty China, it could ruin your entire career. During the 7th to 9th centuries, the emperor handed out purple robes as a status symbol, literally a flex. It meant you were among the most elite civil servants in the empire. The law? You could only wear purple if it was granted by the emperor. Get caught rocking royal lavender without permission? Best case, demotion. Worst case, prison. One scholar accidentally wore a faded blue robe that looked too purple in the sunlight and got interrogated. Purple was the new black, and also the new felony. Number 3, no bells without a permit. Not the jingle-jangle kind. We're talking giant ceremonial bronze bells used in Confucian rituals, imperial parades, and state events. According to ancient law, only the emperor or high-ranking officials could own or ring these bells. Why? Because bells equals power. Each toll echoed authority, status, and connection to the heavens. So, if you were a commoner just vibing with a nice bell in your courtyard? Illegal. Even temples needed official imperial approval to ring their bells. Unauthorized bell ringing could get you fined, flogged, or have your bell confiscated. That's right. The ancient Chinese government had bell control. Number 4, don't use the emperor's name. This next one might be the most insane game of he who must not be named. Across every Chinese dynasty, it was illegal to say, write, or even use characters that matched the emperor's given name. This law was called name taboos. And it wasn't just strict, it was absurd. If your kid happened to be named the same thing as the emperor, time for a name change. If you were a scholar copying old texts and came across a character from the emperor's name, you had to censor or replace it. In the Song dynasty, one poor scribe forgot to edit out the emperor's character in a document and got sentenced to death. The law didn't just protect the emperor's name, it turned it into a sacred word, off limits to everyone. Imagine we banned the name Donald every time President Trump took office. Enjoying these ridiculous laws? Like and subscribe, or we might ban your name too. Number 5, banned books, burned brains. The first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, wasn't exactly chill about free speech. In 213 BCE, he launched one of the most extreme censorship campaigns in history. Burn all the books. But not just any books, only the ones that disagreed with him. Poetry, philosophy, history that predated his rule, to the flames, the law. Anyone caught owning banned books would be punished. Scholars who resisted were buried alive. Some were reportedly tricked into debates, only to be arrested mid-conversation and dragged to execution pits. He wanted total control over knowledge and legacy. Qin Shi Huang didn't just want to rewrite history, he wanted to delete it. Fun fact, later emperors tried to undo this law and recover the lost classics, but a lot of them were just gone. Number 6. Only the emperor wears yellow. Want to die in style? Try wearing yellow silk in front of the emperor. For centuries, yellow, especially bright imperial yellow, was reserved for the emperor alone. It symbolized the center of the universe, the dragon throne, the sun. And the law? Only the emperor and his direct family could wear it. Anyone else? Charged with treason by fashion. Even using yellow in your household, like drapes or wall paint, could get you a visit from the imperial censors. One nobleman during the Qing dynasty had yellow trimmings on his furniture. He was arrested for disrespecting the throne. So yes, in imperial China, your throw pillows could be a crime. Number 7. Forbidden foot sizes. Ah yes, the infamous foot binding law. During the Song dynasty, the practice of binding young girls' feet to make them smaller became so popular and so tied to social status that it turned into a de facto legal expectation. While technically not written into the law codes, local officials enforced it through backdoor means. Girls with bound feet got better marriage matches, better family prospects, and more government support. But here's where it gets wild. In some regions, girls with large unbound feet were legally excluded from certain temple ceremonies and public festivals. There were actual size standards, and if your feet didn't qualify as dainty enough, you were publicly shamed or barred. Imagine a law that says, sorry, your feet aren't cute enough for democracy. Number 8. You can't build a house taller than the palace? Want a nice second story? Not so fast. In many dynasties, especially Tang, Ming, and Qing, it was illegal to build a house or building taller than the emperor's palace. This applied to cities near the capital, where officials kept an eye out for presumptuous architecture. If your house had a tower, a second floor, or a roof that cast a shadow on the imperial walls, demolition time. The law was all about optics. No one can look down on the emperor, literally. Even high-ranking officials needed special permission to build upward. This law stayed in place for centuries, and it's one of the reasons why Beijing's ancient skyline remained low and flat for so long. Bonus round. Fortune tellers, you're next. In several dynasties, fortune-telling without a license was illegal. You heard that right? Mystics, monks, and street-side soothsayers could be arrested for predicting the future, unless they had official court approval. Why? Because prophecies were political. A rogue monk saying, "I foresee the emperor's downfall," could spark a rebellion. So the law made it clear. No unsanctioned futures allowed. So, what did we learn? Don't wear yellow. Don't grow your hair. Don't ring a bell. And whatever you do, don't look taller than the emperor. Imperial China was brilliant, complex, and also wildly petty. If you made it this far, drop a comment and tell us which law blew your mind the most. Or better yet, which one you'd probably break. Let's play a game. Spot the AI fails in this video. Bet you missed a few.